Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to avoid making common mistakes when working on irrigation parts, such as this backflow assembly. One of the most common mistakes on DIY systems is not having one. This is a backflow preventer which prevents the dirty irrigation water from flowing backwards into your city water, which is what you drink obviously, and these things are pretty expensive. They're about $100 or more, and you should check with your local authority to see what kind is required, as there's a few different types. But basically a lot of people just skip these when they build a DIY system, which is obviously not good. Now, a second common mistake is, you can see here I used galvanized pipe after the backflow and it's PVC underground, but a lot of people just come all the way up with PVC. The problem is, in the yard there's a lot of sun, especially here in California, so PVC, unlike steel, will turn brittle and crack. Also, especially important because here there's a hose faucet. If I wiggle this, you can see it's rock solid. It's not going anywhere because I've secured it properly. I have a threaded rod thing going to the wall, which is cement block, and steel pipe with a brass valve here it's really strong. Short of maybe hitting it with a car or something, this is not going to break, even if, let's say, you hit it with a wheelbarrow or some other yard mishap. Now, another common irrigation mistake is not having one of these, a pressure regulator. This is the pressure regulator on the main line going into the house. If you tap into the irrigation before this valve, which sometimes is what people do, you will need another one of these for your irrigation system. Otherwise, the high pressure can damage your valves and fittings. And if you do buy one, make sure you get a high quality model that can handle the flow you need. This is a Wilkins 70XL, which is pretty popular and common model because it seems to be reliable. A common mistake people make when joining PVC and metal pipe is that they will screw the metal male thread into a plastic female one, and it might work, it might not leak initially, but as you can see, the threads are tapered. So when you screw the pipe into the fitting, it forces the two pieces together. That in turn will force this PVC part apart and crack it. Instead, you should screw the male PVC into the female metal pipe, and that is how you create a long-lasting joint that won't break. If you're using drip irrigation with this type of poly tubing, sprayers and drippers, which is common here in California, you need one of these, a filter. If you don't have one of these filters, any debris like rust in the water line can clog up your drippers and you will need to replace a lot of them. If you have one of these, it's important to clean it out regularly, which is another mistake people often make. Is they think that this is just a set it and forget it item, but they're pretty easy to clean out. You just manually turn on your valve, and then with the system running, open the flush valve. Just like that, and it's clean. Some filters don't have a flush valve, they have a cap instead. You can just take off the cap and turn on the system and it does the same thing. This last common mistake I see is not using these waterproof wire connectors. So this irrigation valve is outdoors, it gets rained on. It's actually above ground, which is why it's brass, so it's UV resistant and strong. But as you can see here, these connectors are exposed to the elements. Rain falls on them, animals might mess with them, there's dust and dirt. So if you use regular connectors instead of these grease-filled ones, dirt and water will get in and cause your connections to fail. And this is really important because it's a common failure spot I've seen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you avoid some common pitfalls, and see you again next time.